So not only did Hoyoverse drop the usual character preview for Robin to show off her kit, but we have also gotten some of the creator experience server videos from the Hoyo partnered creators about Robin's kit, showing off what she can do and just giving us more information than what the character preview normally will give us. So today I want to go over Robin's kit to see whether or not she's going to be worth pulling for your account. And this is really cool too that we have this information, because for one, just as a little side note, I really do like that in comparison to the creator experience server for 2.1 versus for the 2.2 characters, seems like a lot more creators that were Hoyo partnered did get access to this, which is really nice to get a few different perspectives. Now, I haven't watched like a bunch of the creator experience videos, but I have watched a couple here and there to get some extra insights on some of like the multipliers and stuff like that. And of course, it's all based on these, quote-unquote beta videos, so some things might change. Of course, I'll cover things as they happen on the channel here, but I do want to give my insights as well into not only what Robin does, but also her banner and how much value I think she can give for your account. So starting out with the, I like to read the little blurb at the bottom of the character preview screen. So yeah, Robin is a Harmony character, and she is a physical element. So from what they say here, she is a support type character that can increase the team's damage through her Concerto. So activating Concerto can allow the entire team to take immediate action, and while Concerto is active, additional damage will be triggered after allies attack. Additionally, after allies use their attacks, Robin additionally regains energy. So this is going to be very good because her ultimate is a big part of her kit, and she does seem to have some very good supports, like support type stuff on her kit here. And the cool thing about the whole creators experience server is, actually, I think it was like at least someone from Pridewin, either someone from Pridewin or, them being able to get the info from people with the creator experience server. We actually do have some multipliers to look at today, which is really nice because we can, kind of put into perspective how powerful certain parts of her kit are. Whereas, in previous videos like this, I would have to kind of just guess on how powerful it is before we actually see it in game. So this is very good. Of course, it might change slightly depending on if they change anything from the creator experience footage that we've seen now to the actual release in game. So yeah, shout out to Pridewin, of course, for posting this. So going over her kit here, starting with her basic attack, she just deals physical damage, nothing really super crazy there. Then we have her skill, which will increase the amount of damage dealt by all allies by 50% for 3 turns, and the duration of this decreases at the start of Robin's every turn. And this is really cool for a couple reasons. Firstly, the uptime for it is exactly like Ruan Mei's, where it lasts for 3 turns, and the duration only decreases at the start of Robin's turn, which is very nice. Secondly, while this damage, this damage increase is a bit less than Ruan Mei when built properly, it still is a pretty big value at traits level 10. So you're also going to get a pretty solid damage boost here overall. Then moving on to her ultimate, which is really just the biggest part of her kit, I feel like. And by the way, 160 energy cost, which is a lot, which I did kind of expect when we see all the different ways she can gain energy when it comes to, or getting extra energy when it comes to her kit here. So her ultimate is going to allow her to enter the Concerto state, and it's going to make all allies immediately take action, which is huge because for one, that's just, extra actions in a cycle. But then secondly, this means that you don't really need as much speed on Robin as you do other supports. Because, there's some supports like, Ting Yun or Asta that you want to have a ton of speed on, like even like Hyper Carry Sparkle as well. Like there's so many supports where you want to build like a ton of speed. For Robin, you more so want to focus on building her with attack. Like she can use some speed, but because you want her to act after your other characters to get the most value out of this, you're gonna want to build her with less speed than the rest of your team, which is definitely a very interesting thing to think about. So when Robin is in the Concerto state, all allies get a attack buff of, at least at trace level 10, 22.8% of Robin's attack plus 200. There's no maximum limit on this, so that also, leads into why you should build just pretty much straight attack on Robin. And every time an ally attacks while Concerto is active, Robin will deal some additional physical damage equal to 120% of her attack, and she'll get a fixed crit rate of 100% for these attacks and a fixed crit damage at 150. So it will be probably a pretty decent amount of damage there to add on. And you know, if you're adding this on to every single attack, especially if you're running her with characters that can attack out of turn, like follow-up characters, this can really add up. Then also in the Concerto state, Robin is immune to crowd control, which is really nice, and you also can't enter a turn until the Concerto state ends. And the Concerto has a little countdown on the action order. It looks like it has a base speed of 90, and when it gets to the countdown, the Concerto state will end and Robin will immediately take action. So yeah, very important ultimate to, you know, really understand the intricacies of, just because you're getting a lot of benefit from it with the attack buffs, as well as, you know, like the extra damage and everything. And yeah, just knowing when to use this most optimally depending on your team setup is going to be very important. So I definitely do, you know, recommend, you know, obviously depending on how fast your other team members are and stuff like that, definitely taking into account when is going to be the best time to use the ultimate here is going to be super important. Then for her talent, she gives all allies 20% crit damage, and after allies attack, regardless of what kind of attack it is, Robin will get an additional 2 energy for herself here as well, which I think is really nice. She's definitely going to be able to, you know, get energy from that to help get her to her 160 energy. Plus, she'll be getting the energy from this while she's in the Concerto state, so you will be still building up some energy, even though she isn't able to do any attacks while Concerto is active. Then for her technique, she has a dimension technique where enemies in the dimension will not attack Robin and follow her, and when you enter battle with this dimension active, she'll regenerate 5 extra energy at the start of each wave. Now, you know, this could be nice in some situations, but I feel like in a lot of situations with other like dimensions, since you can only use one dimension at a time, this one might not be as high priority as some other dimensions, just because the effects of the other ones are probably just going to outweigh this overall. So yeah, that is her technique there. Nothing really super crazy on it. But now to go into her traces, which I think are all pretty good. So firstly, which I think this is probably her most important one, I think. When you start battle, the character's action is advanced by 25%. So this basically means that Robin has a built-in like mini Von Wax set buff where she's gonna get an extra action advance at the start of battle. And that's super important once again, because remember how I said that you want to have Robin run you know, maybe not as much speed as your as your DPS characters and stuff like that. You don't even have to run even as much speed as you might have thought now, because you're gonna get that extra action advance at the start of battle. So she's gonna get her action, get some energy, then all her allies are gonna go, and hopefully by that time in like MOC Pure Fiction you should have your ultimate and you'll be able to activate Concerto and hopefully get either like 1 or 2 actions from each ally in, you know, pretty common conditions before exiting that state. And yeah, just having that extra action advance makes her build a bit easier as well, because you don't need to have ridiculous amounts of speed like I mentioned before. Then for her next major trace, while Concerto is active, all follow-up attacks have an extra 25% crit damage, which does give her access to, you know, that kind of niche of the follow-up attack comps, which is very nice, especially since we did just get Aventurine. We have Topaz coming back out alongside Robin, and we all, you know, have gotten Dr. Ratio for free. So Robin is going to be super beneficial there to give those follow-up attack characters some extra crit damage. Now, does this mean that she's only going to be good in follow-up comps? Absolutely not. Especially with how much attack she's giving from her ultimate, I think she's going to have value pretty much anywhere. Then lastly, for her last major trace, when she uses her skill, she gets an extra 5 energy, which is going to be very nice, especially since, once again, you need 160 energy to use that ultimate. So, you know, any extra energy she can get is honestly very appreciated. Then for her stat traces, she's going to get 28% attack, 18% HP, and 5 speed, which once again, making it even easier to get her built, because you don't need a ridiculous amount of speed, and we're getting 5 speed for free as well. Plus, if we just jump to her base stats here, right now, I mean, unless they change it, it looks like she's at a base speed of 102. So pairing that with the action advance as well from her trace, you probably don't even realistically need that much speed on her. Yep, then her Eidolons here, which I'll just go over real quick. Because while I do try to focus on the like free-to-play or light spender kind of players, I think it's important to see the Eidolons for players who might be willing to spend for Robin, especially since I do know she is a pretty popular character. So E1, when Concerto is active, all allies get a all-type res pen increase by 24%, which is just going to be huge for the amount of damage you can do. Then E2, when Concerto is active, all allies get a 16% speed increase, and the talent energy regeneration effect increases by 1. So extra speed on the team to possibly give them more actions based on your speed breakpoints, plus some extra energy for Robin will be very good. E4, when you use the ultimate, it's going to cleanse the entire team, which is kind of crazy, but then again, it's an E4 for a 5-star, so, honestly makes sense. And while Robin is in Concerto, she's going to give a 50% effect res to all allies, which is really good to have them avoid crowd control debuffs as well. Then for E6, when Concerto is active, the crit damage of the additional physical damage is increased by 450%, so you're going to see a pretty noticeable damage increase there. So the crit damage is going to go from 150 to 600 total. And the effect of this Eidolon can trigger up to 8 times, and the trigger count resets each time you use the ultimate. So for 8 attacks by allies during Concerto, you'll get that extra crit damage on the extra physical damage, which is really nice because, once again, that is going to add up. So that is going to be very good overall. So next up, to talk about her banner very quickly, because I have yapped a bit about her kit here. So for her banner, we have March 7th, Hanya, and Shui Yi. First one we'll talk about here is Hanya, just because it's going to be kind of quick. They both are Harmony characters, and of course I think they both could have some, very interesting situations. But Hanya is, just not going to give as high quality of buffs as like the 5-star Harmony characters. So while she could be a good character to pick up if you are lacking a lot of Harmony characters, you are probably just going to use Robin in pretty much every situation over Hanya. But if you need a Harmony for your second team, if you're a newer player, Hanya can be good to start out with. Especially if you maybe don't have Eidolons in like Asta, for example, or Yukong, because I know both of them are free, but of course Eidolons do make any of these characters perform better. Then for March 7th, she could be a pretty interesting sustain, especially since Robin can work very well with follow-up teams, and March does have a follow-up attack, so that could also be, a nice thing to have. But of course, there are better sustain options than March. She just has, the kind of niche of being able to increase aggro, so she does work very well with specific characters. Then, lastly, for Shui Yi. Shui Yi can be good for a, break effect centered team, so she might have a bit more synergy with Ruan Mei, but because she does have a follow-up attack as well, I do think if you have an E6 Shui Yi where she can follow up more often, I think Robin can have some potential. And honestly, if you have Ruan Mei, you could just run both of them with Shui Yi, and I think that would be a crazy kind of team comp to make sure Shui Yi shine there. So now, to answer the question of should you pull for Robin, and is Robin a must pull? I think that pulling, just to start, pulling any limited Harmony character is never a bad option, because all the limited Harmony characters are super good and honestly super busted. They definitely did very good with her kit. She has a lot of really great abilities on it. Now, I know what a lot of people might be wondering, hey, I have Ruan Mei already, or I have Sparkle already. Do I still need to pull for Robin? You might not necessarily need to pull for Robin in that case, depending on how you feel about your account and the things you might need for your account. But if you do feel like that you are kind of like struggling when it comes to support, or you feel like just another support would really be beneficial for your account, then I definitely would recommend pulling Robin, because while yes, she does have the specific synergy for follow-up comps, she is going to just be able to do well when it comes to pretty much any kind of comp, realistically, because she does give the damage boost from her skill and the attack boost from her ultimate. So pretty much every comp, I think the only DPS that's really not going to benefit super crazy from that is going to be Blade, since he does scale from his HP. But Robin is able to fit in a lot of situations. I know, at least for me personally, because I am going to be pulling for Robin, I know a lot of times with my Ruan Mei, I've been like, wow, it'd be nice if I could run Ruan Mei on both sides of MOC. And I think Robin is probably going to be the closest thing to that. So I am really excited to try to get her. And I do think that for a lot of situations, Robin is going to just be a good pickup in general. But if you are, you know, content with your Harmony characters, then she might not be as high priority for your account. But let me know what you all think about Robin in the comments down below. I really am glad that Hoyoverse is, you know, more widely putting creators into that creator experience server, so we can get some more information across the community and more official information as well. Because I know we, you know, as creators, we all gotta kind of tiptoe around when people start talking about leaks and dreams and everything like that. So it is very nice to have that official information and be able to cover it. But yeah, that's all from me, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. But with that, I will see you all next time.